Alright guys, we're going to jump right into it this time. We're going to go right into what the S.O.D package actually is. So, if you have not seen the last video, please go check that out. It explains, it's a precursor to what everything I'm about to tell you is. And so, without further ado, in part 2 of what is technically the S.O.D series, Strength of Division, I'm going to explain what the 4 stats that I've created intend to bring to the NFL. And so, I'm going to pop up some pictures throughout the video, and even towards the end of the video, we'll have a little gallery of all the pictures of my work so far. Okay, so the S.O.D package, what is it? S.O.D package looks to achieve what the standard winning percentage stat cannot explain. How great is an NFL division winner compared to other division winners? So, there are 4 different, as I've said before, 4 different statistics in this. S.O.D, or S.O.D, Strength of Division Average, S.O.D, S.O.D.M, Strength of Division Margin, S.O.D.W, Strength of Division Winner, and Strength of Division. Strength of Division Total is what the last one is. It's just S.O.D. And so I spent a very long amount of time creating these formulas, trying to understand what works best. And I have to give a huge shout out to the NFL because they did some of the hard work for us, right? Because the NFL already has these divisions. They already have 8 4-team divisions across the league, 4 divisions per 16-team conference. And so they made it easy by basically establishing this number 8 as sort of a constant in my formulas. And so you're going to see the number 8 pop up in, I believe, as I look at my formulas yet again, the number 8 as a constant is in every formula except one. So, the only one that's not in is Strength of Division Margin. And I'm going to explain why first. I'm going to explain why in a few minutes, but I'm going to start with what is S.O.D, or S.O.D, Strength of Division Average. So the Strength of Division Average, it intends to explain how is an individual division winner stacking up to the rest of the league in terms of the league's total division winning percentage divided by 8. And so, first off, you have to understand that the league total winning percentage is really inflexible year to year, right? Because there can't be, I guess the only way it could be less is if there are ties. If there is a tie, then the winning percentage of the league would actually drop. But since the inception of the 17 games, I believe the average is set at 15.998. That's the max winning percentage for the entire league, right? Because think about it. If some teams are winning all the games, or most of the games, then other teams naturally, rationally, have to be losing most of the games or losing all of the games that they play, right? And so that's what this is that's what this assumes. This 15.998 winning percentage for the entire league assumes. And so we have 15.998, this is the formula, divided by 8, that's the total number of divisions, the division constant, and then divided by whatever division winner of any division that you want to choose. So I went with the example of the 2024 AFC East. So the 2024, I apologize guys, individual division winning percentage, not individual division winner, is what you divide by. So I'll explain it again. 15.998 divided by 8 in parentheses divided by 1.765, alright, in the case of the 2024 AFC East. So 2024 AFC East, 1.765 win percentage. Okay? So divide 15.998 by 8 and you get 1.33. Then I'm getting ahead of myself, guys. You divide that, and then you divide it by 1.765, and you get 1.33. Dang, I apologize, guys. 1.133. And so the range goes from the absolute possible lowest winning percentage of a total division divided by this to the absolute possible highest winning percentage of a division. And I've calculated both of those to be completely different, and they are entirely possible, but it's very rare and very unlikely. But because they are possible, you have to go with the lowest and the highest to understand where the range begins and falls. And so what I did is I calculated the lowest possible division total winning percentage. The lowest, absolute lowest, would be 0.076. The highest is 3.294 winning percentage, strictly winning percentage. How is this possible? Well, to get a 3.294 winning percentage for an entire division, one team would have to go 17-0. The next team would have to go 15-2. And we're assuming that those two losses are to the team that went 17-0. You could also have a situation where each team at the top goes 16-1 and they split the division series with each other, right? So remember, guys, each team plays their division 6 times total, 2 times against every other team. Home and away, home and away, home and away. So then, after you get to this 15-2 or 16-1 second place finisher, you get this 13-4 team, right? You could also have it where it's 16-1, 16-1, 12-5, 12-5. But we're going to assume that they go 13-4. They lose to the 17-0 team, get swept. Lose to the 15-2 team, get swept. Then you have the fourth place finisher who finishes 11-6 and finishes fourth. Because we're assuming that they get swept by their entire division. And what this entails, guys, is that all of the wins for this division, we are strictly assuming that they beat every single team outside of the division that they play. And that's why this highest possible winning percentage is so unlikely, but it's important because it sets the parameters for all of the ranges of data in these formulas. So the highest possible is still 3.294, but it's very unlikely. But because it's so unlikely, it brings about another unlikely scenario, very unlikely scenario, where you end up with a division that is the worst in terms of total win percentage. And that would be a division where, again, instead of assuming they beat every team they play outside of the division, we're assuming that they lose to every team outside of the division. So in this scenario, the division winner, and this is possible, but it's very unlikely, division winner goes 6-11, sweeps their division, loses to everyone outside of it. You could also, again, have these sort of tying situations where 2 teams go 5-12, and then 2 teams at the bottom go, they go 1-16. You could have these situations, but again, it's highly unlikely, as the whole situation is. 6-11 division winner, 4-13 division second place finisher. They lose, they get swept by the division winner. 2-15 third place finisher. We're assuming that their only 2 wins are against the fourth place finisher, and their additional 4 losses to the division winner's 11 come by getting swept to the division winner and to the second place finisher. The fourth place finisher in this approximated abstract situation goes 0-17, 0 win percentage, 0.00 win percentage. And so you end up with a total winning percentage of the entire division being 0.076. Alright? So that sets a range right there. That means lowest possible is 0.076, highest possible is 3.294. and this is very important for context, in the now modern day 17 game format. It would have been a little bit different, would have been a little bit lower on the high side and a little bit higher on the low side during the 16 game schedule days, right? Because you have less flexibility, less length of schedule that teams have to play, and so the possibility of having a higher win total and a higher loss total, they're both less, right? Just making sure you guys understand that. Okay? So again, we jump back to what I've been trying to explain is SODA, strength of division average. Now that we know the two parameters, highest possible division winning percentage, lowest possible division winning percentage, we can set up the range. And so, how do we do that? You take that 15.998, still divide it by 8, division constant, and then you divide it by the lowest. And I got the lowest to be 0.607. 0.607 for the lowest possible SODA value. The highest possible SODA value, take 15.998 divided by 8, divided by 3.294, and I got it to be 5.67 as the highest possible range. And so that means, what that means is any division that falls, that has a winning percentage between all 4 teams in the said division, as long as they are not the absolute lowest and the absolute highest, which by the way, either of those would be league records, as long as they are somewhere in between there, in the 1.0 to the 2.2 range, we'll say, they're going to be in this greater range of strength of division average. Alright? So, they could be anywhere in between 0.067 and 5.67. And what this means is that the higher the value is, the stronger the division is. The lower values naturally correlate. They're not inversely related, right? If a division is losing more games than they are winning, then SODA's going to go down with them. They're not inversely related, where if the team's or the division's total winning percentage decreases, then the SODA, the strength of division average, increases. No, because it's comparing an individual division to other individual divisions by dividing it from the total league winning percentage, which is pretty much fixed at this 15.998 value between all 32 teams in a 17 game format. And so if you have a lower value, then your division by this statistic is indicative of a lower winning percentage, which speaks to a larger picture. It speaks to the fact that your division may not be competitive in comparison to other divisions, and it speaks that your division isn't as, I won't say valuable to the league, but it's not a division necessarily capable of producing these deep, powerful playoff caliber teams. There are exceptions. Obviously, statistics don't explain the whole game of football. You can never expect statistics such as SODA to explain a playoff picture entirely, but they give you a good sense of divisions that are competitive between all 4 teams and divisions that will challenge for number 1 seeding and number 2 seeding in playoff picture. And so that is what SODA intends to explain. And that is just one out of the 4 stats that I've created, and we're going to dive into the next 3 in 3 more video segments. So I hope you like where we're at so far. I'm going to pop up some pictures, and please guys, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.